Hi. This group buy video will cover a longer timeline compared to the other videos because I don't plan on releasing videos during the break. Work has been quite busy since it's the end of the year, so I would like to spend this time with friends and family to relax and recover before I have to go back to work. I am working on other videos, but I will admit that I have been procrastinating. That's on me, and I'll try to push out a couple videos throughout the break, though not on a schedule. Anyways, without further ado, ePBT Traveling reminds me of GMK Moto Light with the accent keys and the main color of the keycaps, though the Moto sets are two-tone sets which make them kinda different. Since this set is inspired by world traveling, it has a Hiragana Alphas kit, a Katakana Alphas kit, an international kit, as well as a novelties kit to help really drive home the theme. The novelties kit is nice and includes the landmarks of several famous locations, though as one person pointed out, a lot of these locations are from Europe or formerly colonized by European countries. It's definitely missing out on some iconic locations, but it's really not feasible to include every cool place on Earth, so the designer chose these landmarks since they were places that they had visited themselves. I also did see some complaints about how the set included Japanese sub-legends, and while I can understand the frustration of how keycap designers seem to be obsessed with Japan, I don't think it's completely off-theme to offer them, as Japan is still a popular travel destination. I think what would have been cool and probably helped drive home the travel theme even more is to offer an Alphas kit that is popular in the community, like Alphas kits with Cyrillic sub-legends or Chinese sub-legends, because there's already a ton of different sets with Japanese Alphas kits. I'm not really sure how the IC process went, but perhaps a designer could have included these options in their IC form and let people vote on what Alphas kits they wanted, as well as which designs they would like to see in the novelties kit. This is all just talk though, because it's already too late to make these changes for the set. The metal artisans are designs taken from the novelties kit, and they do look nice since the novelty designs were quite clean as well. They definitely aren't must-buys by any means, but if you want to rep the Statue of Liberty, Sydney Opera House, or the Leaning Tower Pisa on your keyboard, here's your chance. Overall, ePBT Traveling is a clean and nice looking set. It does somewhat mirror a tried and true color scheme from Modern Dolce, but adds a bit of twist with its novelties if you want to add more customization to your keyboard. While I won't be picking up a set myself, I think that if you're looking for simple, clean keycaps with some nice accent colors, you can consider joining ePBT Traveling. ePBT 3000 SAT is a set designed by Glock, the designer of the popular 7V, as well as ePBT Kuroshiro. This project was actually started back in 2019, where KBD fans asked Glock to design a set based on the Cherry G81 3000, hence the name. And indeed, for the most part, the two sets do look pretty much the same, but with some extra accent keys included in the base kit, as well as the accent kit that you can buy to spice up the set. I'm usually not a fan of beige sets, though I know a lot of people do enjoy the look, because I find it to be too boring compared to most sets, and not as clean compared to black on white or white on black sets. However, I actually really do like how this set looks. I think the accent keys provide a bit of character to the design, which is really nice, but if you aren't a fan of the blue keys, the base kit also does include beige versions, so you can make it look more simple. Along with the base kit and accent kit, ePBT 3000 SAT will also have a numpad kit, a 40s kit, and a spacebar kit. The accent kit does not include many sizes for the spacebars, so if you're trying to build an Alice or Arisu style board, or maybe you prefer split spacebars, you're gonna have to buy the spacebar kit. Unfortunately, the spacebar kit only comes with white keys, so you won't be able to use the accent color. There aren't that many kits being offered with this group buy, and as a result, I'm sure that some people might not have all the keys they need, which could potentially be a deal breaker. I don't know how much the kits cost as the price haven't been released yet, but if the prices aren't too bad, I'll definitely look into picking up a set. It's a classic design with a bit of a twist, so if you're looking to have something like that, ePBT 3000 SAT might be the set for you. GMK Metaverse is a Persona 5 inspired set with some really cool novelties. I had a chance to pick it up during the round 2 sale, but I had waited too long and then skipped out on the extra sale because I didn't want to pay up. I've honestly kind of regretted it, so I'm really glad to see it now come back, albeit in a different profile and with some changes to the kits. I'm not sure if I saw the explanation why the designer chose to go with SA this time rather than GMK, but I assume it probably has to do with GMK's new requirements that were implemented this year to avoid sets that are inspired by copyrighted material. That being said, I've seen plenty of anime-inspired sets since the rule was announced, so I feel like it's not very strictly enforced. Anyways, there are 2 base kits for SA Metaverse, one with Hiragana sublegends and one without. So if you hate sublegends, there's a base kit without them for you. However, keep in mind that there are still other differences between the kits according to the renders. The modifier keys in the Latin base kit are all capitalized and it uses text arrow keys, while the Gaijin base kit has something more similar to GMK sets. I don't mind capitalized modifier keys, though I do prefer GMK modifier keys, but I hate text arrow keys. The difference in modifier key style is kind of odd to me, and I'm not sure if this is a mistake in the render, but if the renders are correct, this is definitely something to keep in mind. I am personally going to go for the Gaijin base kit, not only because I like how it looks better with the GMK style mods, but also because it fits the theme, which is important to me. Because this is a Persona inspired set, I think that the novelties kit is a must, especially since it kinda just looks like a black and white set without the customization. To be honest, I prefer the novelties kit in GMK Metaverse 2 more than the one featured in this group buy, because there are more artsy designs and I could do without the diamond novelty design. Like most sets, there will be a numpad kit as well as a spacebar kit, but since this is a collaboration with Drop, there will also be an ortho kit as Drop does offer ortho style keyboards. This is pretty cool for those who use that layout, since you have a full kit ready to go with some novelties on the side. I think that Drop SA Metaverse is a really cool set, especially for people who are fans of Persona 5. Unlike its previous rounds, it will not come in cherry profile, which may be a deal breaker for some. However, with GMK's new rules, it is yet to be seen if a GMK version will ever make a return. If you want to bet on that and wait for a potential GMK Metaverse 3, you can go ahead and see if that happens in the future. But for everyone else who missed out on this set before, or is looking for a cool Persona set, I think that this is probably your best bet. The Hiro is Monokey's next keyboard in the GMK Friends series, but unlike the other keyboards, it kinda just looks like a design rehash of the K. There are differences, one of the main ones being the layout, but also the mounting style, which means the two keyboards will have some differences. Monokey does acknowledge this and state that the K was a large inspiration for this keyboard, and mainly tweaked the design for easier assembly without sacrificing the sound signature. The prices for the two boards are also quite similar, with the Hiro being slightly more expensive, but considering the fact that raw material prices have increased even more since the K was sold, the price increase isn't actually all that bad. That being said, the Hiro does start at 580 Singaporean dollars, which is quite a bit of money for a 65% board. It's not the most insane price for keyboards that I've seen, as there are definitely keyboards in the same layout for more money, but it's definitely not chump change. There's also a brass bottom version that comes at 710 Singaporean dollars, and an SE kit that is completely made out of brass in their new PVD finish that costs 1,180 Singaporean dollars. Obviously, it's not my job to tell you how you should spend your money, because it's your money and your choice, but I feel like for most people, it's probably a good idea to skip on these more expensive variants. Anyways, moving on from the money talk, I do actually like the design of the board, and I think it looks very clean. It's not the flashiest board, and you probably won't be able to differentiate it from other 65% boards from the top-down view, but I really like the overall design language, and I think that the bottom of the board is really nice. Am I going to join in on the group buy? No. I have a ton of boards that are supposed to be coming, and honestly, I should probably get out of this hobby. Do I think that you should buy this keyboard? Well, maybe. If you like the sound, like the look, and have the money to spend, it's your choice to make. However, if you're tight on a budget, or if you're kind of on the fence, I would honestly look elsewhere. Speaking of a more budget board, the Freebird TKL is definitely one of them, coming in at $225. Now, a lot of people might grumble that $225 really isn't all that budget, and I do agree, but you do have to remember that this is an aluminum TKL board in the current market, where material costs have risen a lot compared to the last few years, so it's not that egregious. If you're purely looking for a cheaper keyboard, there are options like the KBD67 Lite or the IKI68 Aurora, which cost less, but if you're looking for a budget TKL right now, this is probably one of your better options. The Freebird TKL has two potential mounting styles, top mount or gummy O-ring mount. Gummy O-ring mount, also known as O-ring gasket mount, is probably the more popular mounting style right now due to the rise of gasket mount keyboards, but honestly, top mount boards aren't that bad either. They do in general have a stiffer typing feel and experience compared to gasket mount keyboards, but I guess it's a matter of preference. The top view of this board is like any standard TKL board, but the side profile does actually make it stand out, which is pretty surprising to me considering the price. It would have been cool if there were more color options available to accentuate the side profile, but I guess you can just pick up an extra keyboard case and mix and match yourself to create the look you want. I think that a really attractive selling feature for this keyboard is the fact that it basically comes with everything you need other than the switches. Each kit will come with Durock V2 screw-in stabilizers, as well as a USB-C cable and a carrying case, so it's really a complete package, which makes the Freebird TKL a really attractive offering. I have collected and built plenty of keyboards at this point, and a lot of them are more high-end compared to the Freebird TKL, but after listening to the sound test and considering the package you are getting, I am very tempted to pick up a kit myself to build. I definitely think that the Freebird TKL is something that you should strongly consider if you're looking for a TKL board, and I would highly recommend it to anyone who's looking for a more budget option. Hopefully, the Freebird TKL can become an in-stock board in the future, or be offered regularly, because I think that it's a really great thing for this community.